Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. It's end of March and I thought I'm going to do a chit-chatty video about March favorites and how March went for me. So March was a very strange month, I have to say, especially for me personally, because my mom is in hospital and nobody really knows what's truly 100% wrong with her. She has back issues, probably bone tuberculosis. It's not a very common disease these days, so yeah, there is some consternations as how to cure it. And there's a lot of changes in opinions around her. So today I found out that probably because the antibiotics they gave her don't really work for her, she is going to have operation. And it's not for sure yet, so I will just wait and see what they decide. But I have to say it's really very strange to have somebody you love in hospital these days, because you can't visit them. You totally cut off from going out, basically, right? We all on lockdown, and in times of COVID-19, yeah, it's just a really strange thing to go through. It's very disconcerting and quite upsetting, actually, because you feel just so helpless. Nevertheless, it is as it is. It's not really much we can do about it here at this moment. On the positive side, I'm really happy that my mom ended up in hospital, because she really needed to be hospitalized with her condition, and we brought her to hospital probably 2 days before coronavirus regulations kicked in, and everything was just changed. The visits stopped 2 days after she was in hospital and so on. So I don't think they would have taken her now, even if we tried. So in this regard, that's really cool. Yeah, and she's quite, in quite a good spirit, but she's been there over nearly a month now, and we don't know where she's going to come out. So it's been a long time. Okay, but this is my personal kind of intro into what was mostly happening on the personal level for me in March. Other than that, yeah, I'm solidarizing with most of you in the world, I guess, that we just locked in our homes right now, and basically for me, work-wise, that hasn't changed too much, because I have been working from home before, and I have been doing online readings and just working for myself. What has changed is that obviously the sales dropped, because most of you, most of us are facing some financial hardships right now, and I'm just hoping this is going to come back to normal in some way, because looking at astrology, I think we are not going to come back to normal, and I think we are going to have to deal with the consequences of what's happening right now, of the halt to the world, and we'll just see how this all going to evolve. Nobody really knows. I know astrologically that we are not over this whole cycle yet. I invite you to listen if you have already, or if you haven't, to listen to Imagine 2020 talk, which I did in November last year. It speaks about how to embrace changes in 2020, and I rewatched it myself, and I kind of thought, wow, I'm inspired by myself. That's really cool. The video will be linked in the description box. I also had to really think hard of how to earn money for bills, and what to do, what to offer you, so that you can also benefit from it. I think I'm going to, for time being, reduce my prices, just so people, if they need support of this type, like astrological or tarot support, can afford it a little bit more. Also, I thought of doing some maybe webinars. They won't be expensive, but yeah, I want to charge for them a little bit, so that I can also support myself and sustain my own income. I wanted to introduce a few more classes. The last class I put out in March was the Balance in Tarot class. My classes are $15 and you can purchase on my website www.tarotmap.com. I have 2 classes which are paid, and I think 3 or 2 free classes. One class is on Chiron, and one class I think is this Imagine 2020, so you can take a look at that. The paid classes, one is on Creative Tarot, which is my specialty. I mean, not only maybe mine, but I love, this is kind of like tarot map style, where I just teach you how to use lots of different decks, you know, oracle decks, tarot decks, all together, so that you can use them in one reading and make fun and be creative about your reading style. And the Balance class is more for people who are interested right now in finding balance with the help of tarot. I discuss a lot of cards in tarot that teach us about balance, and I go about it. This is a slide presentation, so you get images, and I discuss like balanced and imbalanced options, so you could think of it as reverse and not reversed positions of the cards. I think it's a perfect class for people who learn tarot, but also for people who know tarot but want to take a look at these cards maybe from a few different perspectives, and just think of balance and harmony and how we can use tarot right now as a tool to help us you know, create more harmony and more balance in our lives. So these 2 classes are on my website. I also, as I said, am going to reduce for a time being my readings. What I offer most valuable, I think, from the feedback that I got are the life purpose readings, which I call them life purpose, but that's basically an astrology consultation and a tarot reading that speaks about your life lessons, this incarnation, about your gifts, about your talents. And if you want me to focus on a specific area of life, you have to specify in the message when you leave your details while ordering. I do need time of birth for this particular reading. This reading is a very extensive, very in-depth reading. You probably just get it once a lifetime. As if you go to an astrologer, then you can come for updates, but the main kind of gist, you just go once, to have your life chart, or like the cosmogram, your astrological chart read. It's true that I've been working with my own chart since 2005, and there's always something new. In this particular reading on life purpose, I also speak about your cycles, what you are going through right now, the beginnings and ends and middles of the cycle. So it's a very extensive, very in-depth reading. And then at the end, as I said, the astrological part takes about an hour, and then for another half an hour you get a tarot and oracle reading, this creative tarot map styles with a lot of decks, and that mostly shows where you're at right now, and really reflects maybe what to pay attention what to pay attention to over the next few months. So I also offer a Chiron reading, which I find, it's a little bit of my specialty. It's a beautiful, beautiful reading about the wounded healer Chiron and where it is in your life. And I think from however many readings I did and from my own experience, I think Chiron plays an important role when it comes to connecting to your life purpose. The life purpose reading includes the Chiron reading plus all the other things. Chiron reading is basically just about the Chiron and the aspects it makes in your chart, and very often that kind of comes across as our shadow a little bit, so it's a little bit like a shadow reading, but also where your potential for healing and where your healer's potential lies. So this reading was fairly popular, and I think it's a very interesting reading to get. And the other few tarot and oracle readings are basically what do I need to know right now, which is that you don't ask question, we see what the cards want to tell you, and it's just food for thought, you know, a creative type of kind of mirroring. But also if you specify question, or if you have any particular area in mind, you can write me and we'll look at it a bit more focused. I also have like birthday extravaganza reading, which is wonderful for, you know, checking out when your birthday comes up. And yeah, you can take a look at my offerings there. And so that was a little bit of the self advertising here. But now let's move into those March favorites. I just looked through my Instagram posts, because this is my like tarot diary, you know, I always post photos of the day, which I actually draw on the day. And also I have some other decks that I use and I don't post because I would have to post all the time. I really use a lot of decks and a lot of tarot and oracle decks, you know, ongoingly. I like to just play for art. So my favorite decks in March were Commonplace Tarot, but Nell Latimer. I have a review of this deck, and also I have a video of how I trimmed it, because I have trimmed it and I edged it red, so you can take a look. And this is a beautiful black and white with original artwork of Nell's deck, Rider-Waite-Smith based, but with, you know, a little bit variation. But it's basically, if you know Rider-Waite-Smith system, you will know how to read it. And this deck is very beautiful. I love reading with it. It's simple and it's poignant and it's lino cut. So if you like this type of artwork, you will probably enjoy this deck. And again, you can trim it if you want. Take a look how I did it. And I maybe link this video. It will pop up in the card right now. But yeah, it's an awesome deck, and her oracle as well. Another deck that I've used a lot and haven't posted so much with is this Way Home Tarot by Barbara Wintner and Autumn Whitehurst. And this deck is just so smart. I really enjoy how the girls have, you know, shown the archetypes of tarot in this very simple but very smart and unusual way. The court cards are really cool too. And if you want to see the interview I did with Autumn and Barbara Wintner, you can check Inspired Tarot Map. Again, it will be linked below, because it's an interesting one with two guests, and we were discussing the Way Home Tarot and how they, you know, got together and why they created the deck. It's a very beautiful, very smart, really easy to shuffle and to use deck, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So my next favorite in March was Margaret Peterson Tarot, which I came back to. If you have been following for a while, this is one of my favorite tarots of all times, and this booklet is the best, one of the best books on tarot for me. I love it. It comes with poetry, it comes with amazing depth to the descriptions. And I trimmed my tarot deck as well, and I edged it in you know, all those different colors. And I think Aitzi did it the first, like she was the first one to do it this way, so then we all copied her. and hi Aitzi, I don't know if you ever watched the videos now, but miss you. And this deck is amazing. It's modern. It takes time to learn to read it, just because it really demands high level of focus, concentration, spiritual awareness, and embodied wisdom. And the book helps a lot. It's just an amazing, as I always say, top shelf spirituality. So, you know, no kind of bullshit. Another deck that I used heaps in readings and for myself was this Source Energy Art Tarot by Kathleengaya. It's really a stunning deck, and it's really affordable. She sells it over on Etsy, and I know that there were some issues with postage or something. I think if you write Kathleen, she's very responsive, and maybe she can post cheaper for you than on Etsy. Just write her a message. You'll find her details somewhere. But this deck, despite the fact the cards are huge and it has big borders and stuff, but I have a review of this deck. It's such a great reader. Kathleen is an energy artist. She also makes scarves, and it's just such a great reader. I love reading with it. It opens you up intuitively, and it really has beautiful colors. It's somehow, I don't know, not even my usual, you know, some of the art you just go, this is not my style, but there is just something about this deck that gives me amazing reading and amazing access to my intuition. So the Source Energy Art Tarot by Kathleengaya, highly recommend. Definitely one of my favorites in March. And then we come to Melissa's Lucia, Santos and Signs Oracle, and Madonna's and Virgins Oracle. And these decks just, you know, these were my favorite in March, because I got them in March. I'm just excited about these decks. They're funky. I'm going to do a review probably just after maybe this video. So this is Santos and Signs 2, where Melissa really gave some amazing, you know, you've got like shapeshifters, you've got crazy images, you've got some cool signs cards, you've got Mary, you've got Christ images, and Santos different images from cemeteries as well. There are 2 interviews with Melissa on my Inspired Tarot Map series, so please watch it if you're interested on why these decks came to life. Melissa is an amazing creative artist. There's also signs, like words in Santos deck. So this is Santos 2, the older one. The first one is Santos 1, Santos and Signs Oracle, and these there were the signs cards in the Santos and Signs Oracle. There is a review of Santos and Signs on my channel, but these are some of the images from the first oracle. I'm going to do a review and show them all again. So this is two parts to Santos. So we have Santos and Signs 1 and Santos and Signs 2, and there are special, I think, prices if you're interested in purchasing these decks. If you want to purchase 2, I think there is some discount that you get, but please also check out Melissa's Etsy website, Etsy shop, or you can write her on Instagram. She's always there. And then this is the Madonna's and Virgins Oracle, Our Lady Oracle, and this deck has only Virgin Mary images, all sorts of different ones, and really cool. That's great. These are great decks for intuitive readings, for practicing, inner intuitive seeing, for trusting your intuition. They're small, they're funky. These are the backs for all of them. You can combine all of them if you want. There's a lot of cards in the deck. I think it's 70. And maybe over 100 with the Santos, with the signs, with the little names. So both or 3 of them were really rocking my oracle soul this month. Another oracle that I really loved was the Chakra Mandala Oracle. It's by Laurel Virtues, and she also made this beautiful tarot, Tree Spirit Tarot, but her Mandala Oracle is also amazing and has been giving me some beautiful readings this month. She came to speak about chakras in the group of 7 times 7, so she really looks at chakras from this wider perspective. I have a review of this oracle, or if not me, then definitely Nina from Shuffle Tarot. She's got this oracle covered, but the book and the deck is really worth taking a look at. Another favorite of mine, which I've been playing the whole month with, was the Lemurian Starchild Oracle, and I have done recently the review of this deck, and you can take a look at it, because as I say in my review, it's not a typical deck that I would use, maybe, or it's not a typical even subject that I would go for, but for March it was a very healing, very beautiful deck, and oops, not this way. And I think this deck in general came to life with a lot of healing intention, with a lot of love, and yeah, just it came at perfect timing. It kind of makes me open up a little bit more. It makes me expand my energy, and it's beautiful. Take a look at my review. It's just posted on my channel, a few videos, maybe the last even video before that. And yeah, if you're interested in purchasing it, you can support me as well and buy it through affiliate link. And then I get supported as well a little bit, but this deck is really worth taking a look at for people who are interested in this type of subjects. Another deck that I really enjoyed this month was the Mystical Dream Tarot by Janet Piedilato, and yeah, this is a great deck. Again, kind of, she says it's Rider-Waite-Smith based, and you can watch Stephen Bright's videos together with Janet. They discuss some of the cards on Stephen Bright's channel, but yeah, it's a totally kind of different visual feast to Rider-Waite-Smith for sure. You wouldn't recognize probably any of the cards, and it does feel like dream images come to life, and the artwork, the colors, it's interesting. It's a totally kind of limited color palette, but it's great intuitive reader. It's very kind of sacred feminine, very dreamlike. I don't know, it's just a great reader. So it really has some stunning images and very interesting looking images that you want to kind of explore, and you want to sit with, and you want to like look at and go, wow, like what is she doing, what is she thinking? So it's really great, and actually really masculine feminine deck in this sense. It's well mixed. It's really a great deck. I also have used quite a lot the vintage stuff for myself, mostly. This deck, which I got from Natalia, I miss Natalia Ouroboros, come back, babe. But yeah, so this is the vintage stuff, and this deck says it straight as it is. There's just something about this deck which I cannot really truly put into words, but I have used it a lot, and I haven't really maybe studied so much the TOF system. I did study TOF before, and I even went for workshops with like really famous teachers here in Poland, but now I'm trying to connect personally to some of the cards, because that was always my issue with TOF. I couldn't connect properly to the images. To some of them I could, and they were kind of revibrating, whereas somehow what Pamela Coleman-Smith did, I don't know, it was just this easiness of connection. Some of, like, even though I love the Frida Harris work and artwork, is just mind-blowing. Some of the images I just find it, maybe because of the keywords, I don't know, but just find it hard to connect with. I also came back to and pulled out the Moon Divas Oracle by Lara Veleda Vesta. I have done the interview with Lara. It's such a beautiful interview. You have to, guys, watch it. If you haven't seen it on Inspired Tarot Map, please go and watch Lara Veleda Vesta. It's spelled like, you know, Lara Veleda Vesta, and I love her work in general. She writes a lot on runes and on chronic illness now, and she has done this Moon Divas Oracle, which I think it's still on sale. You have to check on her website. I did color the thing, so they're not colored, it's black and white. And the book for it, which you can print out, it's really amazing, beautiful written. It's healing, it's peaceful, it's deep, but also, you know, very experiential. So there are some words and there's goddesses, mostly based on the northern European tradition. But yeah, it's really a beautiful oracle deck. So Moon Divas Oracle by Lara Veleda Vesta. And the last one that I also came back to using, which I love this deck so much, is the deck of character. And it's by, you know, if you go to thedeckofcharacter.com, this is such a funky deck. So it's basically separated. I also have a review of this deck, so you can take a look. But you've got tools, and you've got places, and you've got characters. And if we just want to pull to finish this video, do a little reading for ourselves. So how should we embrace right now? The now. Watchdog. Okay, watchdog. So we have to be watchdogs. We have to really, you know, be careful, take care, look out. Is this a message I want to spread? Maybe not, but here we go. Watchdogs. So be mindful, you know, be mindful of your environment, be mindful of your actions, be responsible for your actions. Because with COVID, it's not so much often about how you feel, but, you know, if you spread it to people who are in the high risk group, that's pretty irresponsible. But we have watchdog and guitar as our tool. So now we have, you know, the dog watching the guitar. Maybe we should listen to some music. Maybe we should there is, for example, on Wednesday there is a free concert on YouTube by Caroline Heilier and Nigel Shaw, and I think that's people who created the Weaver's Oracle. But if you go onto their website, they advertise it there. I am signed up for some newsletters, so now they're going to do on Wednesday the next week, I think there will be a ceremony, or maybe new moon ceremony, and also the next week will be a concert in April. So take a look. So the places: hot springs. Okay. You guys translate this. Watchdog, guitar, hot springs. So watchdog could be, you know, let's be attentive maybe to, or let's be protective of the voice, the noise we make, the voice we make. In hot springs, maybe we should hot springs, how to connect hot springs like these two. I feel like, oh, this is pleasurable, right? A hot bath, hot springs, guitar, music, and then the watchdog. Maybe don't do that right now. Maybe we want to do that, we want to have party and go to hot springs, but whoa, there's a watchdog. So be responsible for what you're putting out there, for what you're doing, or watch how much fun you're having, or watch how much, maybe what you're creating right now. I don't know, but this is the reading that we got from the deck of character. And to be honest, when you play with this deck for a few times, this deck is incredible. It really sometimes gives such funny readings. All my friends love it. Whenever I take it out to a party or hang up, everybody's just like, oh my god, I want this deck. It's really funny. Okay, so I think these were the decks I thoroughly enjoyed in March, and quite a long video, but it's a catch-up, you know, you can stop watching it anytime you want. And I wish you all good health, right? Let's just stay healthy, let's keep good spirits. I hope, you know, the situation, probably on the 5th of April, Pluto is joined by Jupiter. Jupiter usually blows things out of proportion. It's the biggest planet in our solar system, so I'm expecting that April can be still an expansive energy of Corona, but I'm hoping that later on that is starting to die off. But also Jupiter and Pluto, so you know, it's like Hades and Zeus, or Zeus and Lord of the Underworld and Lord of Olympus catching up. Maybe they will set up some terms so that we can actually survive this and move forward. But yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen after the 5th of August, 5th of April, and then Saturn will leave after like end of June. So leave Aquarius, that's what I mean. So I'm just wondering if like by the end of June, July, we will see some, yeah, maybe some structures that being put into life, or some limitations that can come out of, and consequences that can come out of, you know, the hold to the world. Anyway, it's interesting times we live in, I tell you that. And take care. Today, take a look at the classes that I offer, and look after yourselves, look after the loved ones, help others. We have been awakening on so many different levels. There is not only the bad sides and scary sides to this virus, also empowering things that we can see happening all over the globe. And this is time to call for balance cards and to see what we are made of. So embrace yourselves, embrace your own inner strength, so that you can, in alignment with yourself, also, you know, be an example for others. You know, that's the times when we test our spiritual studies, spiritual learning, our spirituality. Is it embodied? Can we actually live it? Or is it just in the mental or Instagram level that we just, you know, post pictures of ourselves or our spiritual items, but when it comes to it, you know, we forget what that means. So draw into your strength, into your inner power. Pluto does that. We are under the Plutonic cycle of finding our inner power and empowerment, and this comes often with strange things happening to us, you know, but that's where you find your inner strength, when you polish your diamond. So heads up, guys, we can still connect together. I hope things will smooth out for us sooner or later. And until now, just, you know, find out what you truly love and what truly matters for you, because I think as society we weird off into the strangest of things and put attention on our importance of things that are totally not important. So at least now we can see what's coming to the surface and what we need to pay attention to. So much love to you. Let me know in the comments how you're going, what's happening in you, in your life, in your countries, and let's have a little chat about how March went for you. So much love. Bye.